Traffic incident management committees facilitate interagency collaboration on pre-plans, training, problem-solving, and coordination of resources from different organizations that respond to roadway incidents. Unified TIM procedures and training opportunities help protect responders and incident victims and reduce the impact of incidents on traffic flow and congestion. TIM committee activities protect the safety of victims, emergency responders, and other vulnerable road users per the National Roadway Safety Strategy, or NRSS. But organizations in many jurisdictions are still responding in their silos, missing the crucial opportunity TIM committees offer to work together for better outcomes. If you haven't been part of a TIM committee before, it can be hard to understand exactly what they do and see the difference they make at the institutional and individual levels. We visited a Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission meeting to ask some of their TIM committee members why they participate and what they have achieved by working together.
The goal of our TIM teams were to communicate, coordinate, and cooperate, and to have partnerships.
2 decades of collaboration, coordination, cooperation that DVRPC has fostered and really fostered the relationship building that keeps people wanting to come back to the meetings. We're kind of that glue that can bring responders from around the region together.
We try to put the right players in the room at the same time so that we can truly talk about it, share ideas, and move forward.
We're able to share stories, share events, learning experiences that we can take away. I can bring it back to my organization.
The first responder perspective isn't always taken into consideration, but having that angle with me and that perspective with me that I bring into other project teams that I'm on adds another element that might have been left out.
Hopefully you're going to learn and be able to take away a skill or at least an attitude that you didn't have before that you can address and say, yeah, that makes sense. That's the logical approach.
Kind of making everyone aware of what everyone else's challenges are and what they face when they're out there on the road, I guess fosters this greater understanding of other people's experiences in different disciplines, and then makes everyone able to work together more effectively when they understand what everyone else is dealing with.
PennDOT said, well, when you call up and say we need PennDOT, make sure you tell us what you need us for, not just notify PennDOT, and that was great because it's something that simple of the way I phrase something really makes a difference.
Just recently we had a meeting for goods transportation where they were talking about if there was an incident on the Delaware River in Philadelphia where a vessel struck a bridge and all of the downstream effects of that incident.
As we were in the meeting, we got reports of a crash that occurred, and we decided that this technology that we were looking at may be good to use for this incident, to be able to tell us where the backlog is and to help us track that incident. So we were able to deploy the technology, and it proved to be very, very effective.
Pennsylvania now has the traffic safety trucks that patrol the major highways. They're the first ones on those scenes, in many cases providing blockage even until the fire company can get there. All of our major roads in Pennsylvania now have mile markers in tenths so that we can very quickly pinpoint where the incidents are.
We've had some bridge structures that had cracked, and it was a major bridge, and through having TIM teams already in that area, we were able to work together. I was able to reach out to some of the contacts I had from that area and said, we need you to do this, this, and this, or can we use your facility to stage some people there? Something
that we have heard a lot of in the last couple years were responders' concerns about electric vehicle incidents on roadways. We're not really sure how to address them, so can you help us with that? And so something that was kind of born out of our TIM task forces was a new task force called the Electric Vehicle Task Force that focuses specifically on considerations for first responders regarding electric vehicle incidents, lithium-ion battery incidents, whether it's scooters or vehicles or whatever, buses. We brought SEPTA into the mix a little bit. And just having conversations around how do we deal with electric vehicle incidents, trying to advocate for that. Members of all of our different task forces across the region have come up with an electric vehicle firefighting action checklist. And now we're trying to work on a best practices document, and we also will be publishing a resource website.
Even a large-scale construction project, if you have those connections through that TIM team, you could say, this is what we expect from you doing that road construction. What do you need for us to make your job easier for that. We were able to get UTVs for them. We were able to give them better signage in the access area. We were able to give them mass casualty training.
We put out 11 traffic safety trailers that have 150 cones each if you have a major shutdown that you have to deal with. We put out 15 portable light towers so that rescue engines don't have to sit on the scene all night long while someone's doing an investigation.
So I had the opportunity to present on a tanker rollover. It helped bring awareness to other organizations for the expectations that they would see if a fully loaded gasoline tanker were to roll over in their jurisdiction. What are some of the things they need to start thinking about?
Engagement is what keeps the meetings running. If no one comes to the meetings, then what's the point of having them?
I actually try to confirm via text message or phone calls that they plan to attend or a representative from their group will attend, because again, only by having all the groups involved can we really move the organization forward.
Diversity in the types of engagement opportunities that you're able to offer helps reach different people in different ways.
A keynote presentation of some sort. The other thing that we usually tried to do is have an after-action review of a major incident that has occurred since the last meeting. That keeps the interest because it's then fresh. Everyone remembers the big incidents, and then we talk about what happened, what did we do, what could we have done better.
Sometimes instead of having a meeting, we'll have some kind of showcase, or we'll do some kind of special event or a training in place of a meeting. Sometimes people want to have their hands on something, they want to be learning something, and that makes it worth their while to them.
We welcome our people at all times to provide input. I mean, we don't try and do a top-level management thing. We'll tell you what to do. We use grassroots, what's happening out in the field, how can we make it better for you?
Building relationships and getting people to understand the importance of having those meetings and getting able to meet those the same group of people on a regular basis. Because when you build those relationships, it's much easier that even between meetings, I can call somebody up and say, hey, remember we talked about this, or what do you think about that, or how do we handle this situation?
I've gotten so much satisfaction out of serving on this. I've met so many really good people.
There's an incident that happens, for instance, and someone says, well, I'm so happy I'm part of this task force because I met this person at a task force meeting, and then we got to meet in a lower stakes environment, share coffee, exchange business cards, and then we actually met in real life out on the road at an incident, and it made that interaction a lot easier for us.
That to me is the most valuable part of traffic incident management team and TIM teams, is building relationships.
Even just getting people in the room and having people sit next to each other, have a little side conversation, bring some food to the meeting so people want to stick around after and have some coffee, have a bagel, whatever it is, and just get talking, and then that relationship is able to develop and grow outside of the meeting and beyond the table. I think that tells me that we're doing something right.
As you go back to your organization and think about how you can start or participate in a local TIM committee, remember, TIM committees can work at any level. There are many ways to start a TIM committee. A TIM committee can be established for little or no cost. Motivated, engaged partner organizations and committee representatives are key to success. Buy-in and participation from large organizations are important for visibility, resources, and role modeling. Relationship building is critical, and it often happens outside the formal meeting. TIM committees provide access to people who can help you solve problems and make ideas real. Sustaining a TIM committee needs buy-in from primary and secondary TIM discipline stakeholders, as well as administrative support. The resources on the page with this video will help you start a TIM committee and bring its benefits to your community. If you have questions, send ResponderSafety.com a message using our contact form.